Hello and welcome to Open Source Workplace. I'm very happy to have Jonathan Schultz back again with us this week. Jonathan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. 5 weeks in, soon to be 6 weeks.
I know, man, right? It just seems to keep going, but your family's well, you're well, everyone's healthy.
Yeah, I told someone the other day, I'm starting to get used to this. It's actually scary. But everything's going well. Yes.
Good, good, good,
Obviously
good.
living in, one place with the same people for week after week, not really, getting out much. It creates new and fun days and environments we have to deal with. So.
It sure does. It sure does. And obviously, we're talking about real estate, and we're talking about how do we get out there? What do we do? And as someone who procures real estate and someone who delivers real estate in what you do, how do I get to see real estate that I can actually make decisions? And how do you help me as a property owner actually show me those spaces so I can get a feel and a look of what a building may look like?
It's a great question. And, we're on a virtual meeting, right? We've been accelerating how now we meet virtually. Before we did it, but it was not as much, obviously, right? So same thing's going to happen for space. You know, most of the time we've done really well as owners to virtualize how our amenities look, right? On our website. So you can see the core of the building compared to maybe the core of the building that you're in. But spaces have lagged. Now, on the residential side, that has definitely been a much faster adoption. So I'm involved in a company called Roomy, Roomy, and we're one of the largest virtualizer of furniture from large online retailers. So
Mm,
we 3D virtualize furniture. We have that content. And then we're able to, when we virtualize the space, which we could do it from taking pictures or from CAD drawings, we then could take furniture and take, architects or designers and virtually design units. The old way was to go out and buy furniture. It's very expensive, right? You usually
hmm
sell those
hmm
units faster because people can visualize. Most of the problem with space and real estate is most people can't visualize. They need to see it. So
Right.
this sped up and automated how we could change what that unit looked like. It was online. We could take new content, furniture content, and substitute it in. So that really was going, I would say, pretty strong in the real estate residential world, but commercial, not as much. People want to walk through a space. With apartments, it's like 5 rooms. You can go to a room, look at the furniture, go to a room. So some of the ways we've been doing it in commercial real estate is Matterport, which has these 3D cameras, Virtual Apt, which has a robot that rides around your space.
Mm,
Once you have the content, the technology is there to then virtualize, right? Virtualize means take the assets that you virtualize with furniture and systems and millwork, whatever you want to actually superimpose into that environment. It allows you to create that and visualize better, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think as an industry, we're going to have to accelerate this now. Uh, you know, the old days of going and looking at 12 buildings, and I'm sure you've done this, and getting in the car and out of the car going into buildings. I think you're going to want to really narrow it down, and especially, you have a global portfolio, so it's
Right.
even harder. You would probably plan your trips, but now maybe if you can narrow it down, but really feel that it's a true visual, right? The furniture retailers are very particular on how real the 3D picture of their furniture looks. They call it Q&A. Very, very back and forth on what they feel they want to present to their customers, and we have
Mm,
to do that in real estate and in space. No doubt. I actually was just having a conversation with one of our leasing specialists at our company, and we were talking about that the other day. And if you go on websites today, the progressive landlords, especially in residential, have really done a good job at digitizing their assets, meaning their common areas, their amenity spaces. And I think now, like I said, we have to push forward for the actual space that either you live in or that you're
yeah.
going to work in.
Have you started doing that in any of your properties as yet?
Yeah, we're working on some now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're getting calls from tenants now that want to see space but can't
Yeah.
come to the building. So we're working with our brokerage firms and internal to make the best possible virtual experience you can, right? So just like we're practicing every day on Zoom or whatever other portal that you use, and we're getting better at the technicality of how to use it better and better. I mean, most people and companies only use 20% of the technology that's in front of their face or
Yeah.
that they download on their computers, right? So I think, you know, there's lots more features that we all can now learn and be better at creating what we want to demonstrate or show or present. And that's for every industry, every company.
Yeah. And what I'm waiting for, John, is I want to put on a headset and be able to walk through the lobby of a building that I'm interested in, right? What is the experience that an employee is going to feel walking through that lobby, going through the turnstiles, into the elevator, up to the space that's designed beautifully for the organization, and then we walk through.
Well,
How
listen,
long do you think?
AR, VR, there's
Yep.
been billions of dollars put into that segment, right? I mean, Magic Leap, they have a product, the Oculus. You know,
Hmm.
these things are big and bulky. You know, Google had their glasses. I mean, that's not going to stop the technology development to make those devices smaller, easier to use. Are going to keep, I think, iterating and getting better. So the good thing is that as a world and multi industries have all been working on how to present their products virtually. So I just think that's going to be amplified now because, you know, in life, you buy what you need, not what you
Right.
want.
Right.
It's a, you know, everybody's, you know, basically thinks they want a lot of things, but when it comes down to it, you make that buying decision on if you need it. If you almost feel if you don't have it, you're being negligent, right? So these things we're talking about, like how you're going to see space, like where maybe before, eh, you know, I'll do the best I can to keep up with what I think everybody's doing because I don't want to look less. But now the train's left the station, you can't do it the
Right.
same way. So we have to
Right.
innovate, and we
Right.
will. And there's great products and services out there to be able to do it. You just got to take the time, commit, and find the right champions within any organization that want to take it on as a project. I mean, everything takes time and energy.
Yeah, you know, it does. And obviously, as someone who buys real estate, then I want that to happen as fast as possible because at this moment in time, the risk of relocating a team is just too high because we can't visually see the space, understand the infrastructure. So obviously, the faster landlords can get this information into hands of real estate professionals who actually want to procure the actual spaces, then I think the better. I think as an industry, we will all be. So, John, look, thank you. I appreciate it. Any last words of wisdom for this week?
Yeah, I mean, so what I've been trying to do personally is like to keep my creativity going, I have to avoid distractions. And what I mean by distractions, the news,
Yep.
you know, I've been limiting how much I watch it because what I've been finding is that it really brings me into an uncreative mindset. And, you know, I've read a lot of books on growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And you can easily, even if you are a growth mindset type person, become a fixed mindset when you know, feel and fear everything that's happening. And because we're so uncertain on everything we're doing right now, you know, what I find, the more creative I try to be at how I can make it better compared to what's going to happen to me, the better I feel. And the more, like we talked about last time, I can achieve those little micro goals.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's, you know, something I've been trying. So, you know, I've been trying to stay away from my phone a half hour, like we said last time, when I wake up. I'm limiting
Hmm.
my intake of the news. It's just so easy to have it on all the time. I feel when I limit that, you know, over the last several days, it's felt better. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great advice. And look, thank you as always for your insights and taking the time to share your views and opinions, and obviously the expertise in the companies that you mentioned. I want to thank you for sharing that. And have a great week, Jonathan. And I'll speak
thank
to
you.
you very
Another
soon.
week 6 next
Another
week.
week. There we go. There we go. All
All
right,
right.
man. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.